Ah, the Edinburgh Festival, the greatest gathering of art, culture and, more importantly, comedy in the known universe. What? You've never been before? Me neither. Let's go together. And in our super-duper Bay City rollin' Edinburgh special, I seek the wisdom of Jack Dee. It's whiskey galore with Parsons and Naylor, and ooh, who's been tickling my sporran? By far the most vibrant part of the festival is, of course, the Fringe, with over 14,297 performances over 3 weeks. It includes some of the most exciting theatre and comedy in the known universe. But what is the Caledonian capital's Carnival of Comedy like for the performer? Have they played the Edinburgh Festival?
Yeah. Yes, we have. We did 1 week there once, actually, which it didn't go very well, really, did it?
Jeff, I'm an Edinburgh virgin. Might you give me some advice as to what I should do while I'm in Edinburgh?
Well, that's not going to last very long in Edinburgh, is it?
Well, hey!
You're going up to Edinburgh?
Yeah, it was my first time, so...
How are you travelling?
I think I'm getting the train.
That's good.
How did you plan your time there, getting to see all the shows and stuff?
I didn't really manage. I went to see 1 show last time I went.
Right, what was that?
Macbeth.
This year's a wee bit different. I'm only doing 1 show myself, or 1 night of my own show.
Can't hack it these days, is that what it is? Or what?
Getting old and lazy. In fact, it interferes with my golf, quite frankly.
I went to see, what's his name, the long-haired man who plays
Bill Bailey.
Bill Bailey. He was very good. I went with Harry Hill and we sat with, there was a girl in front of us with very long hair and we put her hair in our pints.
It was 1 gig we did. We had like 6 Tibetans, 2 Israeli old ladies, a couple from New Zealand and the head of Channel 4 Comedy.
Hey!
Sat right in the middle. And it was
what
just,
an easy audience, aren't
oh,
they?
it was simple, yeah.
Hey!
They are my favourite, the Americans, because you can tell them basically any old shit you want.
And they believe it.
Oh, definitely, yeah. You know, you'll see them in the tartan shops there saying, hi, I'm a Burkowski, and I understand my great-great-grandmother came from Glenfinnan. Do you have a tartan? Oh, yes, we do.
Of course we do, yes. Oh, surprisingly, we do.
You're part of the Gun Clan.
Most of the comedians here will complain about, oh, I can't take it anymore. Oh, every night till 4 a.m. Oh, you know. But all you have to do is really pace yourself. I mean, you got the whole day to do nothing. Well, I don't, not to demean your show. I mean, not that it's not, it is. But, I mean, you know what I mean? You basically you have your whole day to work on material, assuming you're not hungover.
You stay in digs that you'd never stayed in before. So how'd you get your way home? You ever get lost on your way home?
Bread. Everybody leaves bread. Bread or wool to their venue, and then you sort of, you know. And they have like, instead of mittens, you know, on bits of string, you've got like your phone on a bit of string there, and your house keys on a bit of string there, you see.
Buy some Edinburgh Rock. Don't think you're cool not buying it, because it's lovely. Buy some, you know.
You see, what we need is some wily old head who can put the whole thing in perspective for us. I know just the lad. I want you to tell me about the Edinburgh Festival and how important it is to comics.
I don't know how important it is to other comics. It's, I suppose, originally when I started coming to Edinburgh, which is only about 7 years ago, it was important because it was like a milestone, and you always had to sort of work towards it as your sort of 3-week run. And if you didn't have a new show, everyone would know, and that was so. There's a big shame factor involved in coming out to Edinburgh, and there'd be very sheepish conversations beforehand about what you'd be doing. Well, you know, I might put in. So I always get asked to do my favourite stuff. So,
so it's a bit like the Olympics then, because all the, like athletes.
No, it's nothing like the Olympics, Ian. No,
isn't it?
No, it's not.
I apologise. Because people might, you know, think the Edinburgh Festival is all about arty-farty dancing and all that.
It is about that, yeah.
But your Fringe is just bigger than that now, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's still a bit arty-farty. I start my tour off, I went down at Bournemouth. I started in Bournemouth, which is great. I've never seen so many old people in my life. Jesus Christ. It's like Thriller. They're all going around like that.
Do the audiences change over the weeks?
No, they're the same audience every night. This is the extraordinary thing about Edinburgh. Just the same crowd. I don't know why they come. They love it. I don't know, maybe they just...
No, the type of audience.
Oh, the type of audience, yeah. I have to tell you,
No.
I don't do a survey.
What was your first Edinburgh like? Was it all over in a flash?
It was, you sort of go up with all these kind of amazing stories from people and say, oh, it's incredible, this, that, and the other happens, and, you know, you'll be up all night and it's incredible and stuff like that. But I'm not very popular, so that didn't happen.
Oh.
But I'm afraid I've never done that kind of roughing it thing in Edinburgh where you sleep in a sleeping bag in a boarding house outside Perth, and you've got venue number 882, which is actually in Orkney, and you have to do it to 2 people every night, and I never had that. I've just had a very easy run of it, actually. My grandparents, they were great people. They were wonderful, dear old people. Well, eventually they were great old people. They, did the night school and everything. They learned how to do all those things, like going through a door that's been held open without saying thank you and shit like that. They learned to do the sudden stop, you know that one, where you're kind of walking along the pavement and then you just stop. For no reason on earth, you just stop, that's it. You know?
And the street performers, do you enjoy those? You hang around with the jugglers and
Some of them are very good, aren't they?
Some of them are?
Yeah.
Some of them are very poor, though, aren't they?
You can be, yes, they probably are. If they weren't poor, they wouldn't be doing it. But it was, hey, there's a little pun in there.
Clever, that.
2 for the price of 1.
See, you never turn off, do you?
Yeah, it's, I think they sort of provide a certain amount of colour and variety to the street life. And it makes
sort of prostitutes.
I mean,
there, but,
no,
well,
come
you
on.
know.
I mean, I've been to some festivals around town where you really just don't know that there's a festival on. I mean, it'd be my show, and then there's an ice cream van in town, and hey, we're having a festival, and it's awful. And you got some little pamphlet about their festival because they've got Jack Dee is here, and in 4 months' time, Pam Ayres. So they've got 2 shows coming in this year, and that means it's a festival. So you know, hats off to Edinburgh. They have got the top festival.
And there's those people, have you seen those other people who just stand in the street and pretend to be statues? Have
They
you
are
seen that?
statues, Ian.
Are they?
Yeah, you're becoming paranoid.
Oh, sorry, Young Mark Little, hello there.
Hello, Ian.
Goodness gracious.
How you doing, mate?
Very well. No, I wanted to ask you, young Mark, about all the street performing and whatever.
Isn't there a lot of it?
Isn't there, though?
This is the International Festival of Street Performance.
Is it?
Yeah.
Was that, it's actually got a name?
No, it hasn't.
all right.
No, these people actually, they can perform here. They perform at the festival for nicks. They don't have to pay for space, or they don't get listings or anything. So they're just the cheapest way to perform here,
So,
out on the road.
I was looking for some tips on how you get an audience and all that, because you've done a bit of kind of
How do you
performing
get
in the street.
I
and
have.
so on.
Yeah, well, I've not much performance in the street, but you've got to get out there, mate. You've got to get out there. You've got to do the electronic media. You've got to do the print media. You've got to get yourself out. And short of that, it's basically running naked through here is a good idea with your pamphlets.
Now?
Well, go for it, mate.
No,
Yeah.
I'll do
Yeah, later.
So what are you doing up here in Edinburgh then?
I got my show on at the assembly rooms in the ballroom. 8:25. It's called Psycho Bubble.
Hello there.
See that? Performance. They're Belgian.
Are they?
That's a young Belgian performance troupe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do marvellous work.
Can I see you?
Yeah. See?
Oh,
Yeah.
right on
See, that's
cue.
marvellous. See, but people will be throwing the money in a minute.
What else are you doing while you're up in Edinburgh? You got any time off?
Well, that's the great thing about it, because there's
Yeah.
so much on here.
Yeah.
It's a good way to be inspired about what I might do next. Because there's performers here from Russia and America and, you know, Scotland, Australia,
African chaps are there,
Africa,
bye.
Guatemala.
Where could we go for lunch around here? Over there, right.
You know about gravity, Ian?
Yes.
Gravity is where you drop something and it falls down. What I've found is if you start here, turn your hands upside down, the coin falls off into this hand.
I've not found that here. Fantastic. Oh, yeah, if you've got another jacket.
Hey, there you go.
As you can see, here in Scotland, nothing comes in half measures. But in a break with tradition comes our traditional break. And join me in part 2 for more views of Edinburgh's famous Fringe. And welcome back to Funny Business. And welcome back to... Listen, mate. Will you just shut up?
Let's see your money then.
Lieutenant Ian, mate.
Aye, cheers.
And welcome back to Funny Business here at the Edinburgh Festival. Oh, mate. Another thing that Scotland is famous for is its Highland dress. That's why we're here at Kinloch Anderson. And inside, I do believe there's a chap that can rise to any sartorial challenge. Ah, Lenny.
How are you?
It's King of Off-White. Hello, how are you doing?
Very, very well.
I'm very surprised to see you here.
You shouldn't be surprised, Ian, because Kinloch Anderson is the home of quality clothing, and of course quality is one of my many middle names. Another is, of course, consummate professional.
What are you doing up here in Edinburgh, Lenny?
Well, obviously, I'm bringing my show to the people, and while I'm here, I'm hoping to campaign to change the name of the Edinburgh Castle to the Roy Castle in honour of one of the great entertainers. Thank you for laughing.
That's my pleasure.
Yeah. So I'm doing a one-man show, one man and his talent, and I'm also doing a full show, the Regency Room show, with my band, special guest artists.
But you still got time to come up here?
I always try and suck up the culture of wherever I am, like a kind of sponge. And there's a lot of culture to be sucked up here in Edinburgh. Huh?
Is there a specific tartan that you like?
Something loud, I think, is, because obviously, I mean, I'm pretty understated this morning, but I'm very excited at the prospect of discovering a tartan that does my tandoori tan justice. I think a kind of reddish hue would be nice.
Oh, yes.
It's super.
It's got to be, isn't it? It's got to be, isn't it?
I would do a high leg kick, but I don't want to give anything away.
Well, maybe we could go a quick stroll.
We'll take a stroll. I feel
taking a
so
wimpy bar
comfortable
or
I
two.
could actually take a run, a marathon. It'd be beautiful.
What do you normally do when you come up to Edinburgh?
Well, I've taken a suite at the Balmoral, of course. They've had to accommodate my rotating podium mount piano-shaped waterbed, which has mean knocking down the wall of the Linda Lusardi suite on the 3rd floor. So I'm very grateful because they always accommodate me as best they can.
And do you have a lot of friends in the Edinburgh area?
Yeah. I mean, a lot have moved out. Lulu, she's moved down south now, so but she was a Glasgow lass. Ian and Jeanette.
Ian, Jeanette?
Cranky.
Oh, the Crankies.
And I like to sometimes go down to a subterranean oyster bar, and you should see Jeanette Cranky eat. She's frightening for someone so small. It's disgusting. It's just mess everywhere. But I love her dearly.
So, your show up here, Lenny, what can we expect to see?
The quality. An hour. Almost 59 to maybe 61 minutes. It varies every day. And I do a bit of a question and answer at the end, which is the chance for the viewers to come and bring their questions to me to probe a little deeper beneath the tandoori tan.
And it's called One Man and His Talent.
That's right.
Did
It was
that...
inspired by one man and his dog. I heard my talent into the pen that is the cabaret bar.
Enjoy your shows.
I will. I hope you do.
Well, I'll pop along.
Please do.
And I might even wear me...
Please don't. It's fine when you're standing, but when you're sitting, that'd be too disgusting for words.
Thank you, Lenny.
Ah. Where's my car?
Hello everybody, this is Ian, and if you don't know, I'm Yvonne, one word, and well, I'm just on my holidays from Curl Up and Die, where I work, and we're just getting some stuff like for Ian and his family, because he's not very good with money and stuff like that, are you, babe? As you can see from his t-shirt. In London, that would go down a storm, wouldn't it?
I think so.
I think you could pull in that in London. Hello, Jamie, if you're watching. I've only known him 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He bought me some lovely perfume. Yeah, I'll have a smell of that.
That's nice, isn't it?
Tester, it's called.
Tester.
Tester, I think it's very expensive. Would you take a switch?
Yeah, no problem.
Don't really take it, will you? No!
The great thing about Edinburgh is when the hurly-burly of the festival gets a bit too much for you, you can retreat into one of these lovely parks, or perhaps a boating lake. Ah, this chap here might have a boat for us. Ah, hello, sir. Goodness gracious, if it isn't celebrated like lad Rodney Bewes. Hello there.
Rodney Bewes, household name and national favourite.
Hello there.
Where did you get hurly-burly from?
What's up with that? I don't want to seem worried here, Rodney, but I'm petrified.
You're in good company.
So should we explain why we're in the boat?
Yep.
3 men in a boat. Tell me about 3 men in a boat, Rodney.
I caught a crab then. That's what it's called. 3 men in a boat. It's a one-man show. I'm touring around the country. I've got a boat on the stage, a 24-foot long Thames skiff that was built in 1911. And I tour it all around the country behind a car.
So you supply your own
on a
props?
2-wheel trailer, so I supply my own props. This guy said to me once, a journalist, he said, how do you tour 3 men in a boat? With a great big boat like that. I said, well, you know Elton John? I said, Elton John's got 5 juggernauts. I said, well, I don't tow 3 men in a boat like that. I tow a boat on a trailer behind an old Vauxhall Nova that hasn't got a radio aerial. It's got a coat hanger for a radio aerial. And that's how I tour it.
I bet you don't even remember what the argument was about. Of course I do. He said, that he inferred, that he made out. Wasn't it about religion?
Just for the record, it all started when you said that Middlesbrough were a bunch of cloggers.
Which they are.
Which somehow led to the role of the TUC in modern society. Which somehow led to the role of Yugoslavia in the last war. Which naturally led to a discussion on the size of Janice Wainwright's knockers.
Likewise, it's kind of been rediscovered again, isn't it? Do you get bored of it?
No, I love it. And these actors that get posh and say, oh, please don't mention this series I did in the 60s and 70s. You know, I think it's a retrospective step in my career to talk about it. I think they need a swift kick. I try to think I'm not very important. And if I get run over by a bus in Edinburgh today, it don't really matter much.
Well, the show would
and
be
when I realised I wasn't very important once, it came like a bombshell to me. I thought, you're not very important. So I said to Daphne, my wife, who's known as Poor Daphne to our friends, for obvious reasons, I said to Daphne, do you know, I just discovered something, doing all these interviews and things, going around the country doing 3 men in a boat. I'm not very important. She said, well, Rodney, you're important to somebody. I said, oh, who? She said, the dog. She said, the dog loves you.
We come from Germany.
Oh, you come from Germany? You having a good time?
Düsseldorf.
From Russia.
From Russia? Fantastic.
It's
only a microphone, don't worry about it.
Big microphone.
Yeah.
Meine Güte.
It's a haggis.
Haggis?
Ah, yeah. So what do you recommend people should go and see when they're in Edinburgh?
Nothing really.
Nothing at all?
This is cooler and nicer and beautiful, more beautiful than Birmingham.
This one was born in Halifax and that one was born in Suffolk.
So you're taking them back to the cultural roots then?
We comes in the BBC, yeah?
Oh, if you want to. We're on ITV, but you can go to BBC if you want to. What's the name of this city?
This?
Yeah, what's the name of it?
Edinburgh.
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 Yeah.
Ciao.
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 What's something else could say?
The name,
Yeah.
Edinburgh.
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 And another thing Scotland is famous for is, of course, its drunks. No, of course. These days they're more famous for their output than their input. That's why we're here at the Scottish Whisky Heritage Centre to learn more of the great firewater. Why, if it isn't the celebrated teetotalers Parsons and Naylor, what on earth are you doing in the Whisky Heritage Centre?
We're doing some fantastic extra work for the Heritage Centre. Do you like it?
It does you great credit.
Marvellous. There's also a fantastic ride which we come to every year and love.
Goodness, what a coincidence. This is so educational. It really is.
I mean, Alton Towers can give up tomorrow as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, what was that? Flash then, mate.
What was that? There's little highwaymen hanging around trying to nick our whiskey every now and again. That's why we bring whiskey with us.
Look, there's another dog there.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
They always bark at each other.
Well,
He's going to sniff his bottom. That's what dogs do. Get on, get stuck in.
Now, this was a very important part in the whiskey making process.
Oh, yeah.
You had to have a bloke and a woman and a dog looking the other way.
Oh, yeah.
And that was very good because it had really good vibes into the whiskey making process. Oh, no, I can't control him now. Get off him! Get off him!
Stop sniffing his bottom.
Get off him! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
What was that? A gunshot?
I don't know whether it was a clap of thunder or a gunshot. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, he's pointing right at me now.
Oh, watch yourself.
Yeah.
Behave
So
yourself,
that's
mate.
the
Behave
scary
yourself.
bit, that is.
Right, okay.
Here we are.
You're looking
I've got
frightened.
I've got ashen face, mate. Ashen face, I've got.
He needs to do a bit of sewing on his boots there, doesn't he? But never mind about that.
But no, it's because he's
Lovely coat, though, isn't it?
It's a lovely
nice
coat, that.
No, I meant the dog.
Oh, you see, I was looking the wrong way. Come on, mate.
Hey, what's going on in here? This looks like a tool shed in here.
What's going
Look,
on here,
look
mate?
at this. Look at this. It's a tool shed. Look.
No, that's not
This is
your
the
supposed to
repair
go in
shop.
there.
This is the repair shop. What are we
You're
doing?
supposed to go in there.
Right, well, he's trying to put me off already.
I've had too much of the whiskey.
Yeah. It's called The Merry Onions of Dorking, which is a very silly title.
Why is that?
Well, I'll tell you, because the thing is about when you're doing shows for the Fringe, title of your show and your little blurb about it months before we've even thought what's going to be in it. And so we just sort of put our 3 favourite words together. And he's still trying to put me off.
You did fantastically well there.
Because you're not really your kind of regular stand-up duo, because you do all that kind of performance-y type, filmy type.
Yeah, you make it sound arty, love. Yeah, super.
Sketchy, slapsticky sort of stuffy.
Yeah.
It doesn't really trip off the tongue, that though, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No. So we just call it a double act.
So I do the arty bit now.
Yeah.
I should be the arty one with the double explanation. I think what we sort of do, which I don't think other people do, is sort of like with sketches. We're actually always ourselves, and it's a bit like it's almost like getting back to the Mortimer and Wise approach. Right, when Eric was Napoleon, he always spoke as Eric and went, ho ho! A lot like that. And we've tried to do that in all the characters that we play and stuff like that. So the audience always know it's us on stage.
Just couldn't write a funny Napoleon sketch, though.
Oh, really?
No.
No.
There you are.
And as a result, you see, I think the audience treat you like two of their mates that they met in the pub.
As I did, in fact.
For me, that's the big thing about the Edinburgh Festival is that you go down the pub and you see all your mates after the show, and it's just like being a student again. You end up getting boozing with all your pals that you've known for years until 4 in the morning.
And steal traffic cones on your way home. I'd probably use them as props.
Now there's a good idea.
Well, that's your lot from this funny festival business. All that's left now is for me to wish you a Caledonian farewell. By the new.